The Marshall Plexi, there's probably no more of an iconic name when referring to guitar amplifiers in the rock music genre. Now, I've done some models for Tonex of my Marshall Studio Vintage amp, which is basically Marshall's recreation of a Plexi amp, but kind of making it into a mini Plexi. And that amplifier is absolutely incredible. And I've done some incredible tone models with it. I'll have the link to those below. But I wanted to maybe add a different version of a Plexi to my amp collection. And after much research, I ended up settling on what I feel might be the perfect Plexi amp to have that's actually been improved upon from the originals, if that's at all possible. And which amplifier am I talking about? Well, I am talking about the Suhr SL67. Now, there's two amps in this series. There's the SL67 and the SL68. One is a 50 watt version, one is a 100 watt version. I have the Suhr SL67, which is the 50 watt version. Now, you might ask, what makes this quote unquote better Plexi? Well, there's one really great feature in it that is the ability to go between a low and a high channel. You might ask, well, what is that actually doing? The low channel is actually dropping the voltage of the amplifier to create the old variac situation and give kind of a spongier, different dynamic feel to the amp. So we have this possibility to run this at the normal operating voltage, and then we can also run it at a lower operating voltage so that we get two different amplifiers kind of built in one. Another really cool feature is they have a post-phase inverter master volume on it, so we can actually run this at fairly low bedroom volumes while still cranking it up to push that amp into overdrive and distortion. So really cool features, and I've got to say, this may be the best Plexi amp I have ever the opportunity to play through. So as one does when having an amp like this in their possession is, I set out to make a great set of Tonex tone models, and that's what I'm announcing today. So as of today, available on my website is what I am calling the Sir Plex-I-Lot Ultimate Tone Model Bundle, and it is a set of amp and cab captures, 10 to be exact, 5 on each channel of this amplifier. So we have 5 all the way from clean to basically as overdriven as it can get on the high or normal voltage channel. And then I do the low channel with the dropped voltage. I'm going to show you some audio demos today, both out of the mix first and then a little snippet I put together utilizing these tones in a mix where they're layered with drums and bass. So you can kind of hear the best of both worlds of how these tones sound. You know, at first listen, you might listen to one of the examples on the low channel and high channel and think, man, they're really similar. And there are some similarities. Obviously, it is still the same amplifier. But if you listen in that low end and how it breaks up, you're going to hear a little bit of a difference and really feel a difference when you're playing it between those two channels. So as I mentioned, the link will be below. I have a free tone model sample up on my website and up on ToneNet. Those links will all be below too, but I'll also have the full bundle link below if you're so inclined and want to help support the channel. And as I mentioned already later in the video, we're going to do a full audio demo hearing these tones in the mix. So let's start off by hearing them out of the mix. We'll take a look at Tonex, see what these tones are all about with some humbucker pickups and some single coil pickups, and then you'll hear them in the mix. I hope you enjoy. So here we are over in Tonex. I'm playing my Gibson ES335 today. Wonderful guitar. You'll notice I have the tone models here, JS, my initials, Sir Plex-I-Lot clean, and then an H or an L after it. So H is the high channel, L is the low channel. So we have everything from clean to push 1, push 2, OD1 and OD2. So there's basically going to be 5 levels of gain per channel. And these were recorded through a vintage 30 loaded 212 cabinet. So starting here on the clean, on the high channel, we have this. Move to the neck pickup. Back to the bridge. Now let's listen to what happens when we go to the low channel on that variac setting. The differences between those two will be even more apparent once we get into the higher gain settings. So on to push 1. This is where the amp is going to be pushed into a higher level of overdrive. I am still here back on my bridge pickup. Moving to the lower voltage or the low channel. There you'll start to feel a little difference in the bottom, and the kind of squishiness and feel to it is going to be quite different here. Go to the neck pickup. Moving on to push 2, so the next level of gain on the higher voltage channel or the high channel. Neck pickup. Moving on to the low channel on that same level of gain. Now moving on into more of what I would consider the overdrive settings. This is on OD1 on the high channel. Neck pickup. So really nice stuff. Now we're going to go to the lower channel or the low voltage setting. There you really start to feel that squishiness to it. Just an overall tighter feel to the bottom and the overdrive. Moving on to the highest level of gain, OD2. And then moving on to the low channel. Now, I've had a few folks ask me how this compares to the Sir Badger 18 captures that I did, which were my Sir Badge 18. Now, you'll notice here, if I go to those, the clean is just going to be a little more maybe pristine. I've also captured these through a Celestion greenback speaker, so it's going to be quite a different experience. Moving on. Very nice complement to the Plexi versions. Now, if we go back and compare that to the higher gain setting on the Plexi version. An overall different feel and experience between the different tones. That gives you an idea of the difference. Now let's take a listen and hear how the Sir Plex-I-Lot tones work with some single coil pickups. Here I am with my Vigier Expert Strat style guitar, and we'll go back to the cleans. We'll just kind of run through these a little bit quicker with a little less talking. Here we are on the clean on the high channel. Neck pickup. Low channel. Moving on to the push tone models. Next level of overdrive. Low channel. going up to the overdrive levels of gain. Highest level of gain. And then the highest level of gain on the low channel. It's a neck pickup, bridge. So there you have the tones through humbucker pickups in comparison to the Sir Badge 18 Ultimate tone models that I created a while back based off of the Sir Badger 18 amp, and also with some single coil pickups. I have to say these are some of my favorite Plexi tones. Every time I pick them up, as you might have been able to tell, I don't want to stop playing them. They just feel so good, especially with that ability to go between the high and low channel. So I hope you guys enjoy these tone models as much as I do if you decide to go grab them. But for now, I want to let you hear these in a mix also. We have a good idea what they sound like out of the mix. This is what they sound like when combined in with some drums and bass into a small composition. All right, what did you guys think? I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed the tones in and out of the mix. As I mentioned, I'm really loving these tones. These are available. There's a free sample available up on ToneNet. The links will be below. There is a free sample up on my website. The link to that is below. And then there's the full-blown Sir Plex-I-Lot Ultimate Tone Model Bundle available up on my website as well. There's also a bundle that takes both the Sir Badge 18 and the Sir Plex-I-Lot bundles and puts them together at a discounted cost if you really like the sound of both of them. I think those two tones complement each other, specifically because of the differences between the amps, but also the fact that I captured the Plexi through the Vintage 30 speakers and the Badger amp was captured through a G12 M65 Creamback Celestion speaker. So there's also a nice compliment there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really do hope you enjoyed a little journey through these tones with me. Thanks so much for sharing your time with me. Please like the video and please share it with anybody who you think would get some use or enjoyment out of watching it. And also please subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content out. I will be back really soon with some more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ciao for now.